Calibration of air blast sprayers for vineyards. Part 2, measuring liquid flow. Part 1, also available, is entitled Selecting and Changing Nozzles. Both are available in metric. Pesticides are very dangerous and may enter the body via skin, mouth or inhalation. Use the correct PPE as described on the label. Choose the correct nozzles from the application charts available in the catalogue. Determine the forward speed of your tractor and sprayer in your vineyard. Adjust the pressure of the spray manifold to the recommended values. Measure the actual flow from each nozzle. And finally, check and repair any faulty nozzles and then recheck the flow. Before measuring forward speed, fill the sprayer half full of water. This will give you the average weight of your sprayer. Measure out a course 100 foot long using a tape measure. Do not step or pace out the course, as everyone's gait is different. At the end of the 100 feet course, use a flagging stick as is shown in the video to indicate to the tractor driver where the course ends. We need to check our forward speed because of changes in soil type and condition, the changing weight of the sprayer, and the terrain. Finally, use a stopwatch to record the time taken to travel 100 feet. Select an appropriate gear for your conditions, set the engine speed to provide 540 PTO, and drive towards the course. As the front tire passes the first flag, start the stopwatch. Maintain constant forward speed and engine revs, and as the front tire passes the second flag, switch off the stopwatch. Note the time taken to travel the course, the gear that you used, and the engine speed for the course run. Use the very simple formula for calculating forward speed: feet traveled divided by seconds traveled multiplied by 60 over 88. An alternative method is to purchase a GPS device, approximately $100, which will indicate the forward speed. Set the pressure at the nozzle manifold according to the manufacturer's recommendation in the catalogue. Note the pressure regulating valve and the pressure gauge. Adjust the handle to adjust the pressure according to the manufacturer's nozzle chart. Make sure the fan is switched off, and then look at the following 5 methods of attaching hoses to the nozzles. Method 1, this is to use a teat cup liner from a milking machine system, and you can clearly see the teat cup liner goes over the nozzle. Method 2 is to use a clamp. The clamp attaches to the back of the nozzle. Method 3 is to use a very simple seal device. Method 4 is our preferred method, which is to use hose and hose clamps directly around the nozzle. Note the long tubes falling to the ground from the nozzle. Method 5 is to purchase a flow meter. This will give you a direct reading in gallons per minute. Note the black ball inside the gauge. Next, using a stopwatch, time the flow from each nozzle for 1 minute. If flow rate is small, use a calibrated vessel. If flow rate is large, use a larger vessel and then later decant the liquid into a measuring cylinder. Flow is coming from nozzle 1 into container number 1. Notice the containers are clearly labelled, right hand side of the sprayer and the specific nozzle. In this clip, nozzle number 2 is being used. The hose is placed next to container number 2. Repeat this process all the way through, from nozzle number 1 through to nozzle number 5, collecting product containers have water inside them, then put them in the grey bin, take them to a level surface. You can clearly see the containers are on a level surface next to a measuring cylinder. Pour the contents of container number 1 into the measuring cylinder. Note, only clean water is being used in calibration. In spite of using clean water, the operator is still using protective clothing, rubber gloves, and in this case a Tyvek suit. Record the amount of liquid in the calibration vessel after every container is tipped into the cylinder. Repeat the process for the left hand side of the sprayer. Note the chart here. Nozzle flow rate is recorded on the left and right hand side. The chart indicates the imbalance between left and right side nozzles. Note that if any nozzle is plus or minus 10% of the manufacturer's recommended value, then it should be replaced. If your calibration vessel is in fluid ounces, convert by dividing the number collected by 128 to give you gallons per minute. Further information on selecting nozzles can be seen on part 1 of this video series. These websites will provide you with further information on vineyard spraying and nozzle selection. The video was produced at Cornell University in New York State.